Nobody wants to stay broke, not permanently. Nobody wakes up excited to struggle, to stress over bills, to feel trapped by money. So why do so many people stay stuck for years? Why do some people escape poverty, while others stay in the same cycle their entire lives? Most people think the answer is laziness, but the truth is far more uncomfortable. Because being broke doesn't just affect your bank account, it changes the way you think. And if you don't change the psychology first, you can make more money and still stay financially trapped. Survival mode changes the brain. When someone lives under constant financial pressure, their brain adapts to survival. Every decision becomes urgent, every mistake feels dangerous, every unexpected expense creates panic. And over time, the brain stops focusing on the future. It focuses only on escaping today. That's why many broke people struggle to think long-term. Not because they're stupid, because survival mode trains the mind to prioritize immediate relief. Quick pleasure, quick money, quick comfort, quick escape. That's why someone can know what they should do financially and still keep making destructive decisions. Because emotionally, they're exhausted. And exhausted people rarely make strategic decisions. The expensive cost of being broke. One of the cruelest parts about poverty is that being broke is expensive. When you have no savings, small problems become emergencies. A flat tire becomes a crisis. A medical bill becomes debt. A missed paycheck becomes panic. People with money buy time. People without money buy stress. And stress creates even worse financial decisions. You begin choosing survival over strategy. Cheap things that break quickly. Loans with terrible interest, impulse spending for emotional relief, living paycheck to paycheck. Not because people want to stay broke, but because financial pressure creates tunnel vision, and tunnel vision makes long-term wealth feel impossible. Environment matters more than people think. Most people underestimate how much their environment shapes them. If everyone around you spends emotionally, avoids investing, mocks discipline, normalizes debt, fears ambition, eventually that becomes your normal too. Because human beings adapt to their environment. A person trying to build wealth in a negative environment is like trying to grow a plant in toxic soil. Eventually, the environment wins. That's why many people stay stuck in cycles they secretly hate. Because breaking away from your environment is emotionally painful. Sometimes growth requires new habits, new conversations, new standards, new people, new thinking, and many people fear that change more than they fear staying broke. The addiction to looking rich. This is one of the biggest financial traps in modern society. Many people spend money trying to look successful instead of becoming successful. Luxury clothes, expensive phones, car payments they can't afford, lifestyle pressure, social media validation. Because deep down, many people don't want freedom. They want approval. And approval is expensive. Real wealth often looks boring at first. It looks like discipline, delayed gratification, investing, saying no, staying consistent, sacrificing comfort. But social media rewards appearance, not patience. So people stay trapped trying to impress others while silently drowning financially. Emotional spending. Most financial problems are emotional before they're mathematical. People don't always spend because they need something. Sometimes they spend because they feel stressed, lonely, insecure, depressed, anxious, unfulfilled. Money becomes emotional medication. Shopping becomes temporary relief. And companies understand this very well. Modern society is designed to keep people consuming constantly. Notifications, ads, trends, flash sales, status culture. The economy profits from emotional decision-making. But wealth is usually built through emotional control. That's the difference. Broke thinking versus wealth thinking. Poor thinking says, how can I survive this month? Wealth thinking says, how can I build for the next 10 years? Poor thinking focuses on immediate comfort, short-term pleasure, emotional reactions. Wealth thinking focuses on systems, patience, consistency, ownership, long-term freedom. And here's the important part. Wealthy thinking usually starts before wealth appears, because money follows behavior, and behavior follows mindset. That's why two people can earn the same amount and end up in completely different financial situations. One spends to escape stress, the other builds systems for freedom. The truth about discipline. Most people think discipline feels powerful, but in reality, discipline usually feels uncomfortable. It feels boring, slow, repetitive, invisible. Nobody applauds consistency in the beginning. Nobody notices saving money quietly, investing regularly, staying patient, learning skills, avoiding lifestyle inflation. But over time, small disciplined decisions begin compounding, and eventually, the person who once looked behind financially suddenly becomes free. That's the power of consistency. The moment everything changes. For many people, the biggest financial transformation begins with a single moment, the moment they become tired of surviving, tired of stress, tired of debt, tired of panic, tired of feeling trapped. That's when the mindset begins changing. Because wealth building is not only about earning more, it's about becoming someone who can keep and grow money responsibly. And that transformation starts internally first, before the investments, before the savings, before the business success. The psychology changes first. Most broke people are not broke because they're incapable. They're broke because survival changed their thinking. Stress shaped their habits. Environment influenced their standards. Emotions controlled their decisions. But cycles can be broken. And the moment someone begins thinking long-term, everything starts changing. Because real wealth is not built through luck. It's built through discipline, emotional control, patience, consistency, and the courage to think differently. And sometimes, the first step toward wealth is simply refusing to stay mentally trapped any longer. What do you think keeps most people financially stuck? Subscribe for more psychology of money and wealth building videos.